This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by Monster Products. The headphones on my head right now, the Monster DNAs, the headphones that I usually wear, the Monster Elements, or a whole variety of in-ear, on-ear, and over-the-ear, corded and cordless, Bluetooth and sport speakers, from the little S100 to the big S400, and of course the Monster Blaster, and all the cables and power to connect them, all available by going to pilchpoint.live/monster. And Avram, you have got one of our favorite things to talk about and to show off this week: robots.
Yes. So, this week was my son's birthday, and he's been obsessed with robots lately, like programming robots. And it occurs to me that, like, not every parent gives their kid as much access to robots as I give to my son. It occurred to me when, his friends came over for his birthday party, and they're like, "Oh, where are the robots Isaac tells us all about?" So,
I love that.
I want to, actually, they looked and they saw my home office, and they're like, "Is that where Isaac and his father build the robots?" Anyway, so, so for parents out there, we maintain at tomsguide.com a list of robot kits for kids, but I wanted to bring on a couple of examples and talk about what to look for. So, one thing you got to decide if you're a parent is not decide. You got to know when you're deciding on what robot to get is how old is your child and how well do they read, because it is very possible to teach a child to program, or the principles of programming anyway, before they can read. And one of the best kits for that is the Lego Boost kit, which my son loves, because there's absolutely no language whatsoever in the app. There's no words. It's all pictures. The code is pictures. The instructions are pictures. There's not one single written word in the entire app. So that's good. Now, my son is in kindergarten. He's just now learning the basics of reading. But a few months ago, a robot called the Dot crossed my desk. It's been on the market a little while. It's from a company called Wonder Workshop. They came out. There are a couple versions of the Dot. One is just a blue ball, and one is green. And then the green one comes with some like little plastic things you could put on it to decorate. And I thought that this robot was like, it doesn't roll. It basically has an eye. It talks. It can't move at all, but it has an accelerometer sensor and like a sound sensor, so you can program it to do, to say things or light up different colors when you press its buttons or shake it or whatever. And I was like, is he gonna really like this? And the app had a lot of words in it. You can't fully appreciate or really even partially appreciate the app if you can't read. And at first, I was going through all the programming challenges with him, dragging and dropping stuff, showing him, and I figured, we got through a bunch of challenges. I was like, this isn't too exciting. He's not going to want it. He's not going to want to keep playing with it. And boy, was I wrong. He became obsessed with it, and he learned how to do a lot of programming things with it, and keep doing them, because whether he could read them all or not, he's really good at memorizing where things are in an interface and what they should look like. And so I was really impressed with that. And then for his birthday, he was for weeks talking about how he wanted the more advanced robot that Wonder Workshop makes, or one of the more advanced robots Wonder Workshop makes, this one right here, which is called the Dash. So the Dot, which I have somewhere around here, but couldn't find to bring on here, it's just like this top piece. It's just the ball up here with the eye. The Dash adds these three bottom balls because it has wheels, and it can roll around, and the head can turn. It has a sensor, like an IR sensor in the back. And you can program it to roll around, to say things, to move its head, all kinds of things you can do with it. Now, what's interesting is there are some expansion kits which we got him. This is one right here that's attached to it. This is the catapult. So you attach the catapult. There's a little ball. It comes with a couple of balls, and then when you program the robot to do this, to move its head back, it'll shoot things. And he loves that.
No
the other
kidding.
thing, the other thing he really likes, which is a little big for me to bring over here in my office, is it has a xylophone. So you attach the xylophone here, and you attach a mallet to its head, and it like moves its head up and down, and it plays songs on the xylophone.
That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's cool. So he really loves this robot, and I thought, man, you're gonna need to be a little bit more like of a reader and literate, but he picked it up right away. And there's a huge ecosystem for this dot and dash robot. There's like 8 different apps for it, which allow you to program it in different forms of programming. Like, one is a block-based language. The other, I mean, they're all dragging and dropping, but like, and he's tried them all. He's programmed and he's tried one that's like called Blockify, and you drag around with blocks, and he's tried the default Wonder Workshop one that it comes with, and all kinds of stuff. So I really have to say, because it's so engaging, this would make a good robot for a kid who's like maybe on the cusp of reading, 5 to 7, maybe a little older, even maybe 8 or 9. This is a great choice, and this one is the dash itself is $150, but the dot is about $60. So it's a lot less expensive if you want to do that for getting them started. Now, over here I have a robot for older kids, a little bit older, maybe you got to be at least, I would say, probably 10 to really appreciate it. Isaac and I built this one together, but it's the programming language is a lot more complicated. There's a lot more text in it, whatever. This is one of the many UbiTech Jimu robots. UbiTech makes a whole bunch of these kits that are sort of like Legos, but they're not Legos, and you put things together. This one here I like the best. This is the least expensive one too. It's called the Builder Bot, and I think it's about $89 or $99 depending on where you get it and if it's on sale. And it allows you to build a couple of different things. This is one, this like construction vehicle here. It's got treads and it moves around. This eye here actually lights up in different LED colors. You can program that, and it has an IR sensor, so you can sort of program it to go around and not bump into things. And of course, it has this claw, and you can program it to pick things up. So really cool. But this one doesn't have the app doesn't have the level of tutorials and hand holding that say the apps for Lego Boost and for the Wonder Workshop robots have. This one is a bit more advanced, and the building process definitely, you definitely either want a parent to help or you want a kid who's like at least 10 years old for that. But for an older kid, this is better because it's going to be more complex and challenge them more. So those are just a few robot kits to consider. The Lego Boost the Lego Boost, this, the Dash, the Dot, which is a less expensive version that doesn't move, and then the UbiTech Jimu robots, which I showed you, the Builder Bot, are all good choices for kids of different ages.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Okay, so the Dash, I don't know why, but when I was looking it up a couple of weeks ago when we mentioned it in passing, I had it in my head that it was way smaller than that.
I think maybe you're thinking of the Dot, which is only the head. Basically, the Dot is only a ball.
Well, I had it in my head that all of the spheres were physically smaller, which I think the size that it actually is way better than what was in my head. So
yeah, no, it's I don't know how to describe it for the audience, but you can see the scale sort of next to my head.
That's
You know,
That's a good size. I like that.
I think that's a good size for kids robot rolling around the floor. You know, it's not so small you're gonna like accidentally step on it.
Which is important.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially if you've got a kid like Isaac who would be
Yeah.
obviously would be devastated to have that
Yes.
yes, broken.
Yeah, he'll be upset. He was really obsessed with it, until he finds a more complex robot. But for now, it was amazing to me how much he played with the other one. I was like, well, all you can do is make it light up different colors, whatever. But I think the fact that these robots have sort of a cute personality really does have an impact. So me looking at it as an adult through adult eyes, I didn't see the appeal as much as he did. So
Sure, that makes sense. But, we've talked in the past about the idea that, it lights up and that might be enough.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we've talked a couple of times in our Razer promo about their Chroma system. And it's adults programming lights. I mean, sure, the lights are in your keyboard and in your mouse and maybe in an LED strip around your thing, and now the Philips Hue can tie into it. But I mean, that's just like a grown-up version of being able to program lights.
These are more than, I mean, I didn't get too into this, but these are a little bit more than just programmable robots. I mean, they are programmable robots, but what I mean is they do some things independently, like when you turn them on first, they'll say things like, "What? Where am I?" And if you leave it on, it starts talking to you about different things. So it's got a little bit of a personality.
That's cool.
I find I find the fact that a robot would have, this is real old school to me, but I find the idea of sort of social companion robots like that a little creepy, but kids love them and a lot of people love them. So, it has that sort of little cute stuff to it. And then when you're older, you're like, I don't need this. Just give me a tool to program. But when you're my son's age, you find it very appealing.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. And you said that you guys maintain a list of
we
the best?
have a list. We have a list which I have to update further, but these I believe all these are on the list. If you go to tomsguide.com, we have a list of best robot kits for kids.
Fantastic. Well, always love seeing the robots and the things that you have in your office. I'm right there with the kids. I'm always excited to see the stuff that you've got going on in your office.
I can't deny I do enjoy seeing cool stuff.
It's definitely the best part of the job, getting to play with new stuff.
No doubt.
Well, thanks a lot for showing those off, Avram.
Oh, always a pleasure.